Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. So, summer is on the way and, it's already spring. And some of my favorite, memories is reading under the covers, of my bed. Of course, not on the school night.
Yeah, why would we do
it,
that? Yeah.
No. So anyway, we have picked 5 books each to talk about and recommend for you for our age groups. Hers is
7 to 8.
6 to 8, yeah.
7 to 8.
Okay. And then mine's 11 to 12, maybe 10. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, you can go first.
My first book is My Weird School Days. There's a whole series of it, and there's a lot of over-exaggeration from the kid who's actually telling the story. It's funny and entertaining, and I rate this book an 8 out of 10. It's by Dan Gutman.
Okay. So, my first book is Wrinkle in Time by Madeline, I hope I'm saying this right, L'Ange. So it is science fiction, and if you guys like, time travel or, other dimension books, this is definitely a good book. So the first time I read it, I had to reread entire pages because I couldn't understand what's going on. It is confusing, but also the first time I read it was when I was 9, and now I actually like the book. So it's a good storyline and it's pretty fun. It has not exactly humor, but it has the right
good stuff.
The right amount of mystery. So I rate this book a 7 out of 10 just because it is a little confusing and it has some big words that I don't know.
My second book is Amelia Jane. This is also a series, but a bit small one. This is tricky and liking, and there are a lot of pranks in it. It's by Enid Blyton, and Amelia Jane is a bit sad because Amelia Jane is a doll who's super naughty. So when you actually read the book, you feel really sorry for Amelia Jane. I rate this book a 6 out of 10. It's a bit sad.
You don't feel sorry for the doll. She's the bad girl.
Yeah, but when she gets wounded up and stuff.
Okay. Book 2, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is one of my favorite books. I love it so much. It is long, but it's a very fun, adventurous, and thrilling book. There are, some jokes somewhere in the middle that kind of lighten up the story a little bit. And there are some challenging words, but overall, it's a very good book, and yeah, if you like fantasy and adventure, it's definitely a good book. I would rate this a 9 out of 10.
Okay, my third book is Matilda. If you have not read the book, it's interesting and wowish and exciting. It's a little bit surprising, but it's not every day you get to see a 4-year-old girl walk to the library by herself and say, "Hi, I finished all the children's books. I would like to read a grown-up book, please." It's not every day you see that. So, and it's by Roald Dahl. I don't know how to say his name.
My third book is Anne of the Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. This is a very entertaining book. It's not that serious, it has a lot of comedy parts. I mean, giving somebody red wine when they're underage instead of, I think it was raspberry juice. Sure, it kind of was oh no for me because I overreact a lot, but it was funny, It will definitely keep you occupied. I started reading it on a train ride, and it definitely kept me occupied the entire train ride. It was an overnight train. It was very boring, but this book helped.
It really
and is. I can see why it's a classic. I would rate this 9 out of 10, only because I don't know. Only because I guess there's always room for improvement. I don't really see anything wrong with this.
My fourth book is The Magic Treehouse. It's exciting and adventurous, and unexpected stuff happens. Like, once you read it and you get to this part where, like, stuff happens and they're about to be eaten or something, you're like, oh, thank God, they're saved. They're saved. They're saved. This is by Mary Pope Osborne. I hope I said her last name right. So it's a good book. I like it. It's adventurous.
So my next book is actually a series. It's called Famous Five by Enid Blyton. There are 21 books, and this is like fun mysteries that are like just thrilling enough to make you like kind of wonder about what happens next when you're not reading it. Like, it's something that you'll let your mind wander to. And yeah, I would just rate this an 8 out of 10 though, because I feel like some books in the series are more exciting and fun than others.
My last book for this video is Enchanted Wood. It is magical, like Magic Treehouse, but the Enchanted Wood is a huge, humongous tree that you can climb, and you see pixies and sleeping elves and talking fairies and a lot of stuff. And it's hard to predict. And once you read it, you're like, I never want to get my eyes off this book. And it's a short series too. Like, if you read the first book, you'll actually understand what's happening. I rate this book 9 out of 10.
I also have one more thing to add.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is not just specifically for her age group. I think that if you're reading it with an adult, you can definitely read it like before her age group. And if you want a good read, like, I like this book.
And she's 11, so
it's a very good book, and the wording and the way it just makes you want to wish that there was some place like that.
It's by Enid Blyton, and so what I'm thinking from is that she used to live, like, Enid Blyton used to live in England, because all of these books are really formal. Like, they're like this. Oh, I'm quite tired today.
Okay, first of all, she lived in London. And second of all, they're not formal. They just have language that's like, that's British English, you guys.
No, like,
you just see like a British English
They're
word.
like this. Hey, would you hand me that towel? I am very cold. No, blanket. Sorry, not that.
Okay. She just sees British English that goes like, this is way too formal. Like
I need a break from formalness.
It's not. Okay. And then my fifth and final book is Refugee. This by far, it's by Alan Gratz, and it's awesome. It's historical fiction, and it has won 14 state awards. And basically, it's about refugees' journeys and what they experience. And it's definitely good, like, if you want to put yourself into somebody else's shoes and things. So it talks about 3 main characters, and it keeps switching. But, you know, if you want to know, like, some more about the Holocaust or the Cuban hunger movement, the Syrian war, this is definitely a good book to read. And it is sad, like, it is emotional, but it's so good that you just don't want to stop. So, yeah. Also, this was, like, our last idea for the podcast, so please comment down below
how you liked it.
So please comment down below some other ideas that you want to see us talk about.
Like and
subscribe.
That's
all we have for you today, so like and subscribe.